Rod Young, and Mr Young is going to talk about the pandemic. Mr Young, would you like to come forward, please? You have 5 minutes, and then if you are happy to take questions from elected members.
Yes.
All right, the floor is yours.
Do we know which pandemic Mr. Young is going to
No, I have
Well,
he's going to speak. All right, thank you.
I gave a briefing to Her Worship the Mayor when the SARS came out when she was a councillor. She was very interested to find out about what happens in pandemics and stuff. And I'm just refreshing that to full council basically. The background, I have an undergraduate a science degree with undergraduate in advanced genetics, and I went on to do population and public health at postgrad level. I've worked for the Bay of Plenty District Health Board's Public Health Unit, which is headed by the Medical Officer of Health. One of their tasks is to oversee the regional councils dropping of 1080. I just come with a background and an interest in that. A 2% death rate in South Waikato, would probably see about 280 people dead in Aotearoa and Tokoroa, and probably right over the whole district you're looking at maybe 440 people, which is a 2% death rate. One of the things that I did explain back then is there are people that get the virus and survive it, and they're our most valuable resource. There are those that are isolated, that won't get it, but they live on, and then there are the people that get sick and then pass away. So those 3 categories are quite important. One of the things from a governance perspective, if you really wanted to do it to the nth degree, is to find 10 farmers that are isolated, and each councillor goes and lives in that farm with their family, and you're connected by CB radio, so you can still do your governance duties. That's one option. The other option is if people stay in their homes, they need people that can deliver things to their homes and take things away, like take away dead bodies or deliver food. So that's that extreme nature of a council's responsibility. There's the do nothing and just have 440 deaths and just bury them and carry on like that. Or there are ways of being proactive with it. There's huge amounts of people out there and information and experts on things to do. So all I'm doing is standing up and just giving you the most bare basic what you could be facing. My main thing from a council perspective is you've got water supply, which to me is one of the most important things. So you've got 14,000 people in Tokoroa who rely on the water supply. So if you're staffing who do the water supply, if they get sick or if they pass away from it, it's very important to make sure that you actually now think about how do we train up other people, or what are the redundancies in the system. And that's something that will mean the water continues to flow. The other side of it is there's going to be some people that will get sick and then become healthy, and so they are also needing to be incorporated into that redundancy process of making sure that the water supply continues to run. So I just raised that really, really simple thing on water supply so that you can do some impacts on what happens and get the staff to give you some information on who the people are, who the key people, if they were missing, just which valves to turn. I mean, it sounds simple now, but these things can strike, and when the rest of the district have issues, we can't borrow experts from other places because they're mad out for that, trying to look after their water supply. So it's a heads up. We only got 2 cases in New Zealand. The prediction is that 40 to 70% of the world's population will get it within 12 months. So that's something which means that America's facing probably 7 million deaths if it spreads in that manner. And there are other externalities with regards to having vaccines and stuff like that. But what I'm saying to you is a heads up is just to be aware that there are ways that you can plan for it. Jacinta's getting hammered at the moment for having a couple of parents that have it and they're self-isolating in the house, and their children come and go from that house to a 1,000-member school. There's obviously some disconnect there with how transmittable it is, and so there's a bit of disquiet out in the community. So you can do the Chinese way, which is the isolation, or you can do the laissez-faire way, which is America, and just let 7 million people get it and pass from it and deal with it.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Young. Thank you. Are there any questions or comments from any of the members? Councillor Dane.
Morning, Rodney. Just to give you peace of mind, we are in discussion about the coronavirus and we're not sitting back and just doing nothing about it. So, as a council, we are, it's on our mind. We are aware, just so you know, just to give you peace of mind. But I appreciate you coming in today to reinforce the importance
And just to,
coronavirus.
and to add to that, the third case has just been identified as well. No, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Certainly it is top of mind, and Mrs. Robinson's been working on it, so we're certainly very, very aware of it. And I was going to bring it up in sort of later on in public information, which I still will, members' information. We have a citizenship ceremony tomorrow as well, and with that, groups of people come up, shake hands, hug, that sort of thing. We just need to be aware that some of those public events may change. But the other one that's brought up is the cultural implications as well. Perhaps of hongying and of all of those cultural implications. I don't know how or what, and Councillor Lee.
Yeah, just another thing is business continuity, which
Yes.
is going to be a big thing, not just for us but for everybody. But it's interesting. Last night at work, one of the guys had been to Countdown to get his dinner and stuff, and he said that a lot of the shelves are already empty. But it's not because people are stockpiling; it's because they can't get the resupply, which really surprised me. But he said, Countdown's an Australian-owned enterprise, so most of it must come through their warehousing. I don't know, but he said there are a lot of empty spaces in the shelf, and I thought, well, that's interesting.
And I was listening to Radio New Zealand the other day, and somebody makes overalls, uniforms and that, and they are imported from China. And I think he's got a week's supply left, and he can't get any more. So, and they are for cleaners and hospitals. So the impact's there as well. No, thank you, Mr. Young. Appreciate you coming in. And yes, and to reassure you that we're certainly on to it. All right. Thank you. Okay, that's the public forum. Introduction of new staff. Mr. Smale, would you like to come up, please?